quite a lot of rude behaviour on YouTube, and I think it's specifically about this little area of YouTube that the 200 or 300 people that I know about operate within. But what constitutes rudeness is quite different depending on who you're talking to. And I think there's a kind of almost an order or a logic to the rudeness, which I'm trying to work my way through actually. You know, because sometimes I see people behaving what I think is just really rudely, particularly in comment sections. And I'm going to pick on one person. I'm going to pick on Dana Garrett. I hope you don't mind, Dana, but I'm going to use you as an example, because I find you incredibly rude sometimes in the comment sections. Your videos are always very well articulated. You know, and they might be critical, but that's kind of fine. You know, but you're very rude, I think, in comments. But clearly you don't think so. And you're not the only one. Lots of people do what you do, and I'll explain what that is in a minute. But then other people, yourself included, Dana, will say that people are rude in their videos, with Gary being the archetypal example, but other people as well, you know. I'll try and think of some other names to make sure it's not too Inmendham centric. But, you know, and clearly you, Dana, lots of other people find Gary rude. Well, I don't find Gary rude at all. So, and it's very, very consistent. Very consistent indeed. You know, the people who find Gary and, you know, people who are very outspoken, perhaps rude, perhaps insulting in videos, people who find those folk rude seem to be the same people who don't find what you do, Dana, in comment sections rude, and vice versa. People like Gary, I don't know for sure Gary, but people like Gary don't, unlike myself, don't find what we do in videos rude, but do find the comment section behaviour rude. So it's a very clear split. And I think it's to do with the way that we all understand what this space is that we're occupying, what these different bits are, you know, which bits are communal spaces, which bits are private spaces, which bits are public spaces, what the etiquette is in those spaces. I think it's how we understand that. And for me, it's about what kind of metaphors we deploy in order to be able to power that understanding. You know, what metaphors are at work to make me and you and everybody else understand what the rules are in these various spaces that YouTube provides. I'll just to fill in some details before I go into that, just about what rude behaviour in comments is. I regard rude behaviour in comments as well, either things that are off topic, but that's not terribly rude, but also kind of lending consent to the video against a third party. People have done this in my videos. Broken Mech did it in one of my videos. I made a video recently critical of some of the things that Inmendham was saying, Gary was saying, and Broken Mech left a comment basically agreeing with what I'd said and kind of adding support to my finding fault with Gary in that particular case. And I asked him to take the comment off, and I think he did. Either he did or I did. And that's happened a couple of times with different people. Because, you know, if I make a video, I don't want people lending their support to my video in my comment section. If people have got similar opinions, they should make their own video, or they should comment on the video that I'm talking about. But I don't understand why someone would. You know, it feels rude to me to do that, and particularly if it's got nothing even to do with what I'm talking about. You know, so again, if I'm making a video critical of someone, and I've got a particular instance in mind, but it wasn't Gary, it was somebody else, but it's someone I don't talk about. And in that particular case, someone left a comment in my comment section, which actually had nothing to do with the video I was making, but was critical of that person for another reason. Yeah, I don't like him either because of this reason. And again, I just thought, look, I don't want an ally. I don't want an ally in disliking. Get out of my comment section. You know, I find it really, really rude. And the same thing with, you know, Dana Garrett, you do that quite a bit. You know, if particularly in relation to Gary again, who was obviously a bit of a bugbear for you right there, and for other folk as well. You know, if anyone makes a video critical of Gary, you will tend to go in there and stand next to the person and kind of add your voice to that little chorus of disapproval. Sometimes on topic of the video, and sometimes just in the kind of general, that person's such a grump kind of way, you know. And again, as I say, I just find that really rude and lacking in grace. But clearly you don't, a lot of other people don't, so something's going on there. And as I say, I think it's to do with the space. I haven't done a lot of analysis on this yet, but this is, I'm just trying to imagine what the space is like for me. what YouTube offers in terms of spaces, for me, how those spaces are drawn from metaphors of real spaces in the real world, and how the etiquette and the codes of behaviour that in those spaces in the real world, how those are transferred onto the YouTube environment, and which, you know, allow me to feel this is appropriate behaviour, this is not appropriate behaviour. Okay. I mean, the way I see it, and this is, you know, this is just me, is a channel really is like a house. You know, your channel is your house, and your videos are the rooms in your house. You know, they're kind of the little windows you look into the rooms in the house. And for me, what you do in your house, what you do in the rooms of your house, is entirely your business. You can say what you want, you can do what you want, as long as it's not actually physically illegal. You know, that's kind of how I look at it. No one has the right to tell you to stop saying and doing those things in your house. The only difference with YouTube is, of course, is that the windows are open, and if you want to, you can go and look in the window, but you don't have to. You know, even if that person is in their house saying bad things about you, and let's face it, people say bad things about one another inside the privacy of their own homes all the time. The only difference here is the walls are transparent, so we can, if we choose to, we can go and listen to what people are saying about us. And yeah, it's disconcerting, and it takes a bit of getting used to, and you have to learn to turn it off, just like you have to learn to turn the television off when it's got a program on you don't like, rather than just complain about it, or try to get it banned. You know, it takes a bit of relearning to understand how to operate in a town in which all the walls are transparent. But the rules of privacy, for me at least, still apply. The rules of sovereignty to one's own house still apply. So that's why I don't find the content of videos rude. I mean, if I watch them, I can think, oh, that's rude. But you know, I would never complain about that, because I'm watching it, and it's up to me to turn it off or not watch it. Okay, so that's with that. Well, clearly some people feel differently. People who are offended by Gary's videos, or by, I don't know, all the other people out there who are making videos that people find offensive. People who are offended by that and would like them closed down, or would like them stopped, or flag them for different reasons, clearly don't feel that way. They don't feel that they're not working with this room house metaphor. They're working with some other metaphor. Comment sections are different, aren't they? I imagine the comment section, for myself, I extend the house room metaphor to take into account the comment section. For me, the comment section is a little bit like the pavement outside your house.